Strolling through London's North End, you'll often hear some very unique music.
It's quite an evocative sound, and it really lends itself to pre-electric music.
And if you think the sound is unusual, wait until you see the instrument that makes it.
Table legs for the neck, tins of varying origins for the bodies. T-strainers make good coverings for sound holes, as do wardrobe rail fittings.
It's a tin-tone guitar, and there's only 104 of them in the world, all of them made by this man, John Free.
I used to have a biscuit tin as a bedside table thing to put stuff in, and trying to open it in the middle of the night, it made the most over-responsively loud noise, and I sort of lay there in bed staring at it and thinking, you know, that is essentially a sound box, so I should be able to do something with that.
That nighttime rattling inspired him to become the world's only tin box guitar maker.
This was a table leg. It was originally square, but by planing off one of the corners, you can sort of, as you progress through it in depth, you can control how wide it gets.
They might look simple, but tin-tone guitars have all the essential elements.
At its simplest form, it's a stick which holds a string at either end, which vibrates, and one of those ends needs to be connected to some kind of resonating box.
In this case, that resonating box is made of metal.
I don't know what its original purpose was. Maybe something came in it and you were supposed to reuse it as a lunchbox.
Thin metal works well because it has a natural resonance.
If you strike a piece of plastic, it'll go dunk, but if you hit a piece of metal, it'll go ding. And if you hit a piece of wood, it might go, well, I won't impersonate it, but you know what I mean. I'll try and find this, roughly the centre point.
John's technique is definitely old school.
Most of the time, when I use a ruler, it comes out crooked. And when I do it by eye, it's fine. It's 45 at that end. Half of 45 is 22.5.
And his workshop? Primitive.
You'll find me using cheese knives and goodness knows what.
But once in a while, he pulls out the power tools.
I think there might be a metal bar in there, so I'm going to grind. You can hear how they resonate.
John gets his handyman skills from his father, a renowned British physicist.
And he was part of the team that developed lasers, so he was responsible for the first accurate measuring of the distance of the moon to the nearest foot and things that are way beyond my comprehension. There probably aren't that many people that get given a little basic tool kit when they're 5 or so on and encouraged to take their toys apart.
That upbringing has led him to this.
Yeah, that's about right. We've got some clearance for the strings.
Because every box and every table leg are different, there's no template to follow.
Cheat and bend this one out a bit.
And that is why John does it.
There's so many current manufacturers that manufacture in factories with computer programmed. But one of the things that you can do as a human is use your common sense and skill to make something that a machine couldn't. So that is starting to take form.
On some models, an old British penny serves as the nut. For this one, it's a piece of scrap aluminum of unknown origin.
But, I used to put very heavy strings on, but I found that the lighter ones are a lot more responsive. I think the tin just doesn't take much energy to move it.
The final step is to create a bridge.
So I'm just shaping a little floating bridge along the lines of this. The strings will sit on, and then their vibrations will be transferred to the top of the tin.
Its placement is crucial.
I normally try and put it between a sixth and a quarter of the distance along.
And different on every one.
Often they have little indentations or little sprung bits, but it's mostly tin-plated steel, so it's quite springy.
And with that,
I just want to stop this handle from rattling.
it's time for the moment of truth.
Okay, let's see if it works. That's it. Tin tone number 105.